Ian, this video you made has pissed me off. To say that a person who has schizophrenia doesn't need to take their medication is dangerous, counterproductive, and just plain ignorant. I was diagnosed as having major clinical depression 7 years ago after a botched suicide attempt. I was told that I had probably had it from childhood, having inherited it from my mother, who was diagnosed in her mid-20s as manic depressive, which is now referred to as bipolar. She refused to be treated, believing that all psychiatrists were quacks. I won't even begin to try to describe the hell that my childhood was because of that. My mother's mood swings were something I had to adjust to on a daily basis. Had she been treated, my depression might never have even manifested. My depression is considered unipolar, meaning that without the medications I take for it, I can go from a normal state of mind and suddenly, without warning, mentally crash into a pit of despair, which can last for days or even weeks. A bipolar person will go from a normal mental state to one of hypermania, being so full of energy and the need to do something that, in my mother's case, I can recall a number of times coming home from school and my house was a different color because my mother decided to paint it because she was in her manic phase. My little plastic models that I had as a kid of cars and little monsters and all of that would all be repainted for no reason except for the fact that my mother needed something to do in that manic phase. From the manic phase, the bipolar person then descends into that pit of despair, which can last for days or even weeks. Depression is not an imaginary disease, Ian. It is caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain, and the medications prescribed for it correct the imbalances so that the affected person can live a basically normal life. This is not something I can think away. It's a physical condition which needs to be treated in a physical manner. Your quotes, if you say you're healthy, you're going to become healthy. When it comes to disease, the drugs can't cure it, only we can cure it. You're as healthy as you want to be. I'm sorry, but this is the sorriest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. You would presume that I choose to live with depression? It can't be wished away, Ian. If I stopped taking my medications in an effort to cure myself, within a month, I'd be back in that pit of despair, looking for a way to kill myself, and that's not a supposition. That's a fact. I really think you need to back off the medical issues, especially AIDS and others, because you don't know what you're talking about. And you may be suffering from a mental disease, just as I am, but you won't acknowledge it. And telling people that they don't need to take their medications is both dangerous and irresponsible.